Before the city of Port Harcourt was created, the land was traditionally known as the Rebisi Kingdom. In the ancient days, Rebisi Kingdom was made up of various Ikwere clans and villages. The kingdom was blessed with large farmlands for cultivation, forest areas, creeks, and expansive waterfronts. The Rebisi Ikwere people are traditionally farmers. They were great hunters, and they also engaged in fishing, carrying out their daily lives without any foreign interference. But during the British colonial rule in 1912, the British colonial government decided it needed a major seaport in the Niger Delta region. The aim of having this seaport was to use it to export palm produce, timber, and the coal deposits that was discovered in Enugu. To make this possible, the British colonial government needed a coastal location where they would build the seaport and connect it to the hinterland by train. After surveying different areas, the British government, under Sir Frederick Lugard, governor of Nigeria, identified the Rebisi Ikwere waterfronts and its surrounding lands as the most suitable place for them to build the seaport and railway terminal. The British officials then approached the Rebisi Ikwere chiefs who owned the lands and waterfronts, informing them of the plan to acquire parts of their waterfronts, farmlands, and communities to build the seaport and the railway terminal. At first, the British tried to negotiate peacefully with the Rebisi Ikwere chiefs. However, the chiefs were not comfortable with the offer. They wondered why they would surrender their valuable farmlands, communities, and waterfronts for the port project. When the negotiations with the Ikwere chiefs failed, the British, determined to achieve its economic objectives, decided to use force and intimidation, a colonial method called gunboat diplomacy. Eventually, the British colonial government succeeded. They were able to get the Rebisi Ikwere chiefs to agree to their offer and sign the Hargrove Land Acquisition Agreement. As part of the agreement, the British colonial government paid compensation payments to the Rebisi Ikwere chiefs for the acquisition of their lands and waterfronts, as well as for the relocation of some of their Ikwere communities to make way for the construction of the seaport and railway terminal. The Rebisi Ikwere chiefs from Diobu clan signed the land acquisition agreement on the 18th April 1913, while the other Ikwere chiefs from Rumueme, Rumuomasi, Rumubiapkan, and Oganigba signed the land acquisition agreement on the 26th of April 1913. After the British government had concluded the land acquisition agreement with the Rebisi Ikwere chiefs, the following month, on the 2nd of May 1913, the minority Okrika fishermen who set up fishing camps as customary tenants on some section of the Rebisi Ikwere waterfronts acquired by the British were also considered and compensated. Back in the days, the Okrika fishermen usually crossed the waterways from the Okrika Island to fish at the creeks and waterfronts of the Rebisi Ikwere people. They would set up temporal fishing camps on the waterfronts, with permission from the Rebisi Ikwere landowners. During a court proceeding at the Rivers State High Court in 1966 on land dispute between the Rebisi Ikwere people of Port Harcourt and the minority Okrika Ija-speaking settlement. A very significant moment during the proceedings was when Chief Simon Goody, who is from Okrika and representing his Okrika people, admitted before the court that his Okrika forefathers usually go to the Rebisi Ikwere chief's compound for annual swearing of oaths of fidelity and loyalty to the Rebisi Ikwere chiefs who allowed them to settle on their land. The Rivers State High Court then ruled in favor of the Rebisi Ikwere people and declaring the Okrika Ija settlement as customary tenants of the Ikwere people. In 1981, when the case got to the Supreme Court, just like the Rivers State High Court, ruled in favor of the Rebisi Ikwere people. The Supreme Court upheld the ruling of the State High Court, declaring the Okrika Ija as customary tenants of the Rebisi Ikwere people. The judge went further and ordered the minority Okrika Ija people who lost their case to pay the Rebisi Ikwere people a total of 500 naira for their court expenses. With the Ikwere chiefs signing the land acquisition agreement, the British colonial government achieved its economic objective and the construction of the port terminal on the Rebisi waterfront began. In August 1913, Sir Frederick Lugard, the Governor-General of Nigeria at the time, decided to name the port Port Harcourt. He chose the name in honor of Lewis Vernon Harcourt, who served as the British Secretary of State for the colonies from 1910 to 1915. Port Harcourt stands as a beautiful, vibrant city, deeply rooted in Ikwere culture, traditions, and festivals. The paramount ruler of Port Harcourt City is known as the Nyaweli of Rebisi Kingdom. The Royal Majesty also serves as the chairman of Port Harcourt Traditional Council. Today, Port Harcourt City Metropolis, which includes Port Harcourt and Obio Akpor local government area, has experienced rapid growth and development since the end of British colonial rule. Over the years, the city has developed into Nigeria's oil and gas capital, marked by massive infrastructure, intense economic activity, and wide-scale urban expansion into other parts of Ikwere land. Port Harcourt City, proudly known as the Garden City, has evolved from an ancestral farmlands and waterfronts to a global city. Port Harcourt stands as a testament to transformation. Built on Ikwere land and sustained by the peaceful and accommodating spirit of its people, Port Harcourt City reflects beauty, unity, peace, and progress for all Nigerians and across the world.